everyone, this is Jess from the Estevan Public Library, and today we will be making wind spinners. This is an easy project that results in something beautiful to hang on your porch, on your deck, or in your garden. For this project, you will need some craft wire, some fishing line, a few marbles, some shiny stones or some beads, and something to wrap your wire around. I'll be using a Sharpie, but you can use anything that's about the same size as your marbles. Let's get started. To start, we'll take a piece of wire. I've cut mine to about 1 foot long, and we'll take our tool that we're using to wrap our wire around. I'm going to start about 1/3 of the way up, but you can start wherever you like. Just take it and wrap it around the tool tight. If your wire's a bit more bendy like mine is, it will be easy to push and manipulate the wire to change the shape. So I recommend wrapping the wire around 4 or 5 times just to make sure that the marble stays in place. Once you're done, you can pull it off your utensil, and it should look a bit like a spring once you're done. Now I'm going to make 2 little twists here, one at the top and one at the bottom of the spring, to make sure the marble doesn't fall out later. Now that that's finished, we'll go ahead and grab our marble and put it in place. We'll start by opening up a little section in your spring there and placing it in between the twists. So I made my twists a little too small, so I'm just going to move them and reshape them around the marble so that it fits nice and snug in between. Now that your marble is secure in between the wires, we'll move on to the last part. So I'm starting from the top and making a little loop just by twisting the wire into a circle and pressing it up to the other side of the wire. That way there's no holes for a string or any hooks to fall through. I'm also going to be making a loop at the bottom. I'm just making it a little bigger, but still closing it so that no string or hook will fall through it. You can reshape the wire at this point a little bit to however you like, but once you're happy with how it looks, you have your first wind spinner. So this is just a basic wind spinner. It's nice and simple. You can hang it up as is, but you can also make some wind spinners and add a little bit of decoration to them. So starting with a new piece of wire here, I'm going to take the edges here, or the ends here. I'm just going to make quick little loops for later when we want to hang it. Go at either end and just twist it a little bit. Making sure it's nice and tight against the wire. There we go. Instead of starting with my marble, I'm going to start with a stone instead. I'm going to take it close to the top, just wrap, measure out about, there we go, that much around, so then that the loop is still at the top. Taking this end of the wire, just wrapping it around the stone so it doesn't move. You may need to fiddle a little bit with the stone and the wire to make sure it will be secured, but you can always wrap the wire around a few more times to make sure it will stay in place. Once you feel the stone is secure, we'll grab our utensil and start wrapping the wire again. I'm going to start from the bottom and just curl it around. And this time I'm just wrapping it around 4 times. I'm just going to move the stone a little bit and twist the wire around at the bottom. Grabbing my marble and popping it in there. There we go. Now you have a decorated wind spinner. You can also use beads to decorate it as well. So once you have all your wind spinners made, I'm going to take my fishing line here and starting with this one, I'm going to take the end, thread it through the loop. Once the fishing line is pulled through the loop, I'm going to make a loose knot at the top. But before I pull tight, I'm going to place 2 fingers in between the string. This way, when I pull tight, I still get to keep a loop that we can use to hang our wind spinner later. I'm also going to double knot our fishing line here to keep the string secure. Once I've added my second knot, I'm going to trim the tail off, and now your wind spinner is ready to hang. However, if you have a small wind spinner like I do, you can attach it to another wind spinner. So we'll grab our fishing line again and thread it through the top loop of our second wind spinner, and then through the bottom loop of our first wind spinner. From here, we'll follow the same steps that we did before, making a loose knot, and then before tightening it, keeping at least 1 or 2 fingers in between the string. I'm also going to double knot this one as well, once again, just to keep it secure. Once you trimmed off the tail of the fishing line, your wind spinner is ready to hang. And there you have your wind spinners. These are really easy to make and fun to watch spin around on a windy spring day. Thank you all so much for joining me on this week's Take a Make. The written instructions for this project can be found in the video description below. If you enjoyed this and want to show off your work, please be sure to tag the Estevan Public Library in your social media posts. I hope you can all join us for our next Take a Make, but until then, enjoy!